Why happy couples still end up divorcing at first glance. Some couples seem to have the perfect marriage. They laugh together, travel together, celebrate anniversaries, and fill their social media with smiling photos that make everyone believe they're deeply in love. Friends admire them, family members look up to them, and they appear to have everything a successful relationship should have. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, they announce that they're getting divorced. People are shocked and immediately ask the same question: how is that possible? They looked so happy. The truth is that appearances can be incredibly deceiving. A relationship can look wonderful on the outside while quietly falling apart on the inside. Happiness isn't measured by the number of vacations, expensive gifts, or romantic pictures online. It's measured by what happens behind closed doors, in the everyday moments that no one else gets to see. One of the biggest reasons happy couples end up divorcing is that they slowly stop growing together. Every person changes over time. Our dreams evolve, our priorities shift, our careers develop, and our personalities mature through life's experiences. Change itself isn't dangerous for a marriage. In fact, it's completely natural. The real problem begins when two people stop sharing those changes with one another. Instead of growing side by side, they begin growing in different directions. Conversations become shorter, meaningful discussions disappear, and eventually they realize they know less about each other than they did years earlier. They may still care deeply for one another, but emotionally they are no longer walking the same path. Communication is another critical factor that often determines whether a marriage survives or slowly falls apart. Many people believe divorce happens because couples argue too much. Surprisingly, that's not always true. Sometimes the greatest danger comes from couples who rarely argue at all. They avoid difficult conversations because they don't want conflict, hurt feelings, or uncomfortable moments. Instead of expressing disappointment, loneliness, or frustration, they choose silence. They convince themselves that the problem isn't important enough to discuss. But every ignored feeling leaves behind a small emotional scar. Over months and years, those tiny scars build into emotional walls that become almost impossible to break down. By the time one partner finally speaks honestly, the emotional distance has often become much greater than either of them realized. Another hidden reason many marriages fail is the gradual loss of emotional intimacy. Physical attraction may still exist, and couples may continue living together as they always have, but emotional closeness slowly disappears. They stop asking each other meaningful questions about their dreams, fears, and feelings. They stop celebrating small victories together or comforting one another during difficult moments. Conversations become limited to schedules, bills, children, or household responsibilities. Without realizing it, they begin treating each other more like roommates than life partners. Emotional intimacy doesn't disappear overnight. It fades little by little until both people begin feeling alone, even while sharing the same home. Modern life also places enormous pressure on even the healthiest marriages. Work deadlines become more demanding, children require constant attention, financial responsibilities increase, and family obligations seem endless. Every day becomes a race from one responsibility to another. At first, couples promise themselves that things will slow down soon and they'll make more time for each other. Unfortunately, that day often never comes. Weeks turn into months, and months become years. Date nights disappear, meaningful conversations become rare, and simple moments of affection slowly fade away. The relationship quietly slips to the bottom of the priority list. Love, however, cannot survive on leftover time and energy alone. Just like physical health requires regular care, a strong marriage requires consistent attention, appreciation, and emotional investment. Resentment is another silent force that destroys relationships from within. Unlike anger, which appears suddenly and openly, resentment grows quietly over time. It develops when one partner consistently feels ignored, unappreciated, unsupported, or taken for granted. Perhaps one person feels they carry most of the household responsibilities while the other doesn't notice. Perhaps one partner constantly sacrifices personal dreams without feeling valued in return. These disappointments may seem small individually, but together they create emotional exhaustion. Eventually, acts of kindness become less frequent, patience becomes shorter, and love is replaced by bitterness. Once resentment becomes deeply rooted, rebuilding trust and affection requires tremendous effort from both partners. Many couples also confuse comfort with connection. Sharing a home, eating meals together, watching television every evening, or following the same daily routine can create the illusion of closeness. However, simply spending time in the same space doesn't automatically strengthen a relationship. True connection requires curiosity, vulnerability, active listening, and genuine interest in each other's lives. Couples who stop learning about each other often discover that routine has quietly replaced intimacy. They know each other's habits, but no longer know each other's hearts. Another reason seemingly happy marriages end is unrealistic expectations. Movies, television shows, and social media often portray love as effortless and constantly exciting. As a result, many people believe that if the excitement fades or challenges appear, something must be wrong with the relationship. In reality, every healthy marriage experiences difficult seasons. There are moments when life feels overwhelming, communication becomes harder, and romance isn't as effortless as it once was. Successful couples understand that lasting love isn't built on constant excitement. It's built on commitment, patience, forgiveness, and choosing each other repeatedly, even during ordinary or difficult days. Trust also plays an essential role in every successful relationship. Most people immediately associate broken trust with infidelity, but trust can be damaged in many different ways. Broken promises, dishonesty about finances, emotional secrecy, lack of reliability, or consistently failing to support one another can slowly weaken the foundation of a marriage. Trust is built through countless small actions over many years, yet it can be damaged by repeated disappointments that gradually erode confidence in the relationship. Once trust begins to disappear, emotional safety often disappears with it. Perhaps one of the saddest reasons couples divorce is that they wait far too long before asking for help. Many believe seeking counseling means their marriage has already failed. Because of pride, fear, or embarrassment, they continue pretending everything is fine while the emotional distance grows larger. By the time they finally recognize the seriousness of the problem, years of unresolved pain may have accumulated. Seeking help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign that both people value the relationship enough to fight for it before it's too late. The most important lesson is that divorce rarely happens because love disappears overnight. More often, it is the result of countless small moments of neglect, poor communication, emotional distance, unresolved resentment, and forgotten appreciation. Strong marriages aren't built by perfect people who never face challenges. They are built by two imperfect people who continue communicating honestly, supporting each other, adapting to life's changes, and choosing one another every single day. If you're in a relationship today, don't assume that love will automatically take care of itself. Make time to talk, listen without judgment, express gratitude, show affection, and never stop learning about the person you chose to spend your life with. The happiest couples aren't those who never experience problems, they're the ones who face those problems together before they become reasons to say goodbye.